Hey, what's up everyone? I'm just doing a quick live stream. I was watching the moon and decided to, well actually I just decided to go back outside and look at the moon. Earlier it was a lot clearer. You could see, but now it looks like the clouds are covering it up more, but you can still see the beauty of its energy and the luster. But anyway, there's some traffic outside. There's beginning to be the Monday morning traffic. It's 3:51 a.m. since they changed the time, but that's the moon right now. It's been kind of a crazy past few days, but I just wanted to check up on everyone and know that everyone is doing okay. I send much love as always. Can you see? It's been messing up on me a little bit. I have 30%. No, I don't even have that now. 25%. This phone drained quickly. But much love, everyone. Much love to everyone. I see one person joining the stream. If you feel like talking, how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. I don't know if I have the chat on or not. Okay, it shows live chat enabled, super chat enabled. Okay, all of that's enabled. But the moon is really pretty. I decided to, oh wow, I just saw a meteor. Wow, what timing. Hi, hey Mandela 108, how are you? I just saw a meteor fall right that direction, right over that direction. I was just making sure that I had the chat and the super chat and all of that stuff enabled on here, but I didn't know if I had the chat enabled or not. I'm doing okay. Kind of feel a little bit weird, but also more energized somewhat. I think it's the full moon. I think the full moon, for some reason, hey, how are you? The pit stop, how are you? I just want to send positive energy and love. I have about 22% left on this phone. I'm going to watch the moon throughout, well, probably another hour. I won't be able to stream that long, but I'll probably be able to stream for about 20 to 30 minutes. How are you? Yeah, it's nice to go outside and actually look at the moon, especially, at least it's not brutal cold or super cold right now. It's like, it feels like, I think it's in the 40s, but it's been a crazy past few days. My daddy wound up losing his wallet, which was, well, I'll get into that for video. I don't want to talk about all that for this stream, but isn't that moon beautiful? It was at a worst possible time when we have all the medical bills coming in. He wound up, I don't know. He lost it, I guess, in Missouri, and had $400 in it that he'd been saving, hoping to pay on some of the medical stuff, and then that's what happened. I was hoping that he would find it, but he never did. He said he knows what happened. Pretty sure he knew what happened. But that's one of those unforeseen things in life. We have to be very careful in keeping up with things. Wish he'd been more careful, but it happens to all of us. But yeah, that's a story of what happened. That's why I said it's been a crazy week. But yeah. Pit stop says, been there. I lost mine one time just a few months ago. Thankfully, the Dollar General. I don't know why they didn't tell me right away. I kept calling, and then they called me back about a week later and told me. And it was they said, oh, it was in the back of the safe. I was like, okay, that's weird. But anyway, it's been a crazy week. He had like $400 in there that he was hoping to use that he had saved up and hoped to use on the medical bills, but now that's gone. But that moon, though, earlier. Oh, did you all see my video I did about the? Yeah, that also had his. The comment showed up, disappeared. But That also had his pilot card, his Love's card. Earlier, I had them in my phone, so I screenshotted them, saved them in the cloud, emailed them to myself, and they were able to. I was able to pull it up on the tablet, and the pilot was able to take a copy at least of the fuel cards he has, the truck stop cards, thankfully, and they were able to copy them off and print them as the big barcode, and he's able to use those for fuel, so that's a good thing. But one positive thing. But did you see my UFO video earlier? Did you all see that? We were in town and taking him to work, and what happened was, as we were heading through there, I saw this craft, and it was flying over, kind of just flying, kind of stationary. It had already gone in circles, kind of around, but it wasn't blinking like a plane. And all of a sudden, the craft just took off to the right. And I was like, actually, the reason why I noticed it take off to the right, I didn't see it take off really quickly in person. I was ending the recording, and I looked back at the recording, and at the very last of it, the craft took off to the right, and you can see the UFO object or whatever it was fly off to the right. I've got it on video. I have it on my channel, so you all can see that. Cop just went by. I don't know what he's slowing up for. I'm live streaming. A whole lot crazier happens than just me live streaming out here. But yeah, crazy. A cop just literally went by. They're never around when you actually need them, but oh well. Moving on. Yeah, I'm sure you all know that too. Yeah, pit stop, you might be correct on that, and I felt that too. I felt that as well. We might actually be seeing more of these alien activities or interdimensional being activities. I know some say that they're dark beings, some say that they're not all dark, some say I don't think that every single one of these beings are all evil or dark. Now, some of them I do believe could be. And do actually, given the accounts that have taken place, I do think that they could be partially negative due to some of the accounts that have happened. I don't think anything positive would leave scratches and strange, weird cases that I've seen. But I also got some strange scratches that appeared on me a few days ago. And they appeared on my neck out of nowhere. They just appeared. Let's see if I can get a better view of the moon here. Well, it's all about the same, but it was so beautiful earlier. Super bright. Super bright. And I guess there's really not that many people outside this time of the morning recording the moon. But I just wanted to do that for my channel. Yes, interdimensional. That's it. That is the most likely scenario. Have any of you ever seen that documentary on Hulu? It is a documentary that it's really eye-opening for people that aren't aware of these things, but let's see. I can't remember what it's called at the moment. It's got a reptilian on the front, but it's a really good documentary. Whether it's all true or not, I don't know, but it's about the elites and lineage of the elites and all kinds of things like that. It's really interesting. But anyway, I don't want to get into too many different loaded topics for this video, but that full moon, wherever you're at, I just want to know, I want to let you know that I'm sending my love to you all. And we're going to make it through this. We're going to make it through the tough times. I know Zack Attack really needs our prayers and thoughts right now. And as well as Suga, the Stargazer, she's going through quite a lot. Those two YouTubers are going through various different things, as are we ourselves. But they have been asking for prayers and love, so if you could all extend your love and prayers to them, That would be, I'm sure they'd greatly appreciate it. And, but I wanted to come out here. Oh, don't tell me this is going to quit on me. I wanted to come out here and do a stream of the moon. Heard a bunch of loud coyotes earlier. The cat wanted outside, but I was like, I don't know. I mean, I might walk her around, but I just don't want her to run off. And she won't, but I just don't want her to get hurt. There were so many coyotes. They were everywhere. You could hear them howling everywhere. I also heard a loud, honestly, it sounded like a banshee scream, I tell you, but it was really loud, like it was so loud. But one interesting thing is, earlier I was kind of just feeling the energy of nature. So I got down on my knees and I put my hands on the ground, and I can actually hear movements. And the wind will start blowing, things like that. You can hear a little, it just sounds like movement in the ground. And I was watching this video, and Red Crow, the Native American Indian, if you know about Red Crow and the Hopi prophecy and prophecies and all of that, if you're aware of all of that, there are some interesting things about Red Crow. And he spoke about connecting with the earth and connecting with Mother Nature, and how all of these different prophecies talk about. And it talks about the storms on the rise, the changing climate, and how humans were supposed to respect the earth. And the trees are our brothers, and they breathe out what we breathe in what they breathe out, vice versa. And if you've ever saw that, or watched anything about that, about Red Crow, they talked about how caretakers of the garden, yep. Why the stupid hurts. Hello, hello to you. That's the YouTuber. That's the name of him. But Red Crow, the Native Americans, as we call Indians, the Native American Indians, they're very knowledgeable. What they say is truth, and they call God the grandfather, the source. And I am a believer in Jesus Christ as Savior, Redeemer, Forgiver of sins. That's not changing. That'll never change for me. I respect everyone out there, and I love you all. I love everyone out there. I wish everyone could just get along in this crazy, crazy world. And no, I don't. None of us have all the answers, and none of us know what's coming. I don't think any of us really knows where we're going, what's happening, what's coming, but we know that there's a big change taking place right now. And the anxieties that we feel, the darkness, the depression, the anxieties, the ups and downs that we feel. Hopi prophecy and Book of Revelation is pretty similar. I'll have to look up the similarities, but yes, they do talk about, yes, they actually do. They talk about people being in the wrong bodies. They talk about a time when, like, people don't know what they are or where they are, and people being in the wrong bodies, embodying the wrong, the spirit, and sorry, the dog is barking in the garage. He wants out. But the interdimensional portals being opened up, the portals that were closed long ago being opened back up, and things like that. Jesus listened to other cultures. The church is what said not to. Yes, I do believe that Jesus taught. He taught to love everyone. He taught to be. He was. Now he also, if I'm not mistaken, what is his name right now? I can't. Photohelix. He stated about Jesus Christ saying, "You've turned my Father's house into a bank, basically, a money lending place. Embrace, not shun." Oh, I love everyone. I try to be nice to every culture, every person, every type of person, and they all respect me for it. They just seem in awe of the fact that I respect all of them. Every single one of the people that walk by me. I love you all. Everyone that speaks to me. And some people not so nice. Some people are hateful, but hey, I try to be nice. And But what was I saying? Oh, Photohelix actually stated that Jesus in the Bible, you nailed it, only ones he lashed out at had it coming, LOL. Yeah, Jesus actually said, and there's some Mandela effects, though, that talk about that have changed what it says. And I don't like that. But also, he said, you've turned my father's house into a bank, basically. And they did. They really did. Yep, money charges. The people are hurting the people. Hold on, I'm going to have to plug my phone up. The stream might end, and I don't want it to end. Let's see. I have a cord out here. I hope it does not die on me. Don't you go dying on me. Phone. Jim Carrey reference from Dumb and Dumber. Hold on. Hold on. If you can bear with me. Oh no, please don't. No. Crap. I'm back. I don't know. I am back streaming. I had to end it, and I'm gonna have to go back outside because I've actually gone inside. Yeah, Mandela 108. You all 5 minutes ago. No, 1 minute ago. Houston, we have had a problem. Yes, it has gone down. It went down. The streaming went off. My phone died. I said it was dying, and then I was trying to record the moon, and then I had to go. Another stream here in a moment. I don't want anything to happen to her. You'd ever imagine. They can literally run, I think, I don't know, 30, 40 miles per hour. They're like the fastest cat. They said they're the fastest domestic house cat ever. So, I'll be back. I'll probably have to go and be back in a moment. They get outside, so the fastest house cat, domestic cat ever. I opened the door to come back inside and get my phone charger, and she took off running outside, so I'm going to have to go look for her and make sure nothing happens. Hey, yes, it's working again. It is working for you because I turned the stream back on, and I turned it back on, had to reconnect. Still low battery. I'm at 4% on my phone. I've got it plugged up to the portable charger that I've got in my hand, but the cat ran outside. I'm going to have to go look for her. She's super fast. She's the fastest cat there is. But yeah, you all had some very, very good points when you were leaving your comments earlier. I don't know where the cat went. I'm outside right now looking for her. If I go too far away from the router, I mean, I have a Wi-Fi extender, but it goes to the end of the driveway, and I'll have to reconnect to the router itself. Let's see. I apologize for the buffering. I'm sorry. I've got to go. I've got to look for the cat. I'm outside right now. I'm at the porch, but I've got to make sure that excuse me, that nothing happens to the cat. I as a child, put into work, had this such a connection with it. I even told the librarian, I was like, that's where I'm from. Like, spirit, whatever. We're all connected with it. We're all one with it. I felt this oneness beyond what I could explain. I don't know if she even really understood, but she knew there was something different when I was in elementary. The rest of the teachers and everyone else they caused anxiety. They were very hateful. But I always felt this oneness, this connection, beyond any shadow of a doubt, this oneness with everything that just, I don't know what that was, but beyond anything. Hey, Rain on the Plains, how are you? Oneness that you can't, you can think, but you can't convey it. You can't put it in words. I'm doing okay right now. Maybe it's the full moon energy. I don't know. I know usually crazy things happen on the full moon. My granny and my mama and everyone always said, full moon. You walk up on people, they're like, full moon. It's going to be one of those crazy days. But I've actually felt pretty, trying to make sure she gets back to the house safely. I don't know. She took off. She usually uses the litter box, but I just don't want her to run off and anything happen. She can easily get away. She's an Egyptian Mao. Oh, thank you so much. I love your channel. Rain on the Plains says, I love your channel. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. That is so awesome. I love it when I receive positive feedback. And to everyone that has left positive feedback, likes and shares and commented and subscribed and all of that good stuff, and every donation. Someone donated today, and it's been a while since I've had a donation. And believe me, the times we're experiencing right now, I'm still trying to remain positive, but definitely could use them. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to know someone that several people feel that way. Mandela 108 says, I watched the UFO video and I saw it fly off at the end. But back to what yes, I'm glad you saw it. I didn't even, when I was recording, I didn't see it take off. I was actually just looking at the phone and I pressed stop on the video because I thought, well, it disappeared. It didn't just disappear, it disappeared off to the left and took off running to the right. I'm glad I'm live right now. Thank you. I'm glad you're glad that I'm live. To Rain on the Plains and Mandela 108, thank you for joining right now. Possible 3%, but I've got it plugged up. Hope it doesn't drain. I've got it plugged up to one of these micro USBs, a micro USB right now, and normally I plug it up to the USB 3.0 that it came with because of it charges faster, but I did what I could grab at the moment. Got what I could grab at the moment in the house. But yeah, that UFO, whatever it was over the city, and it was just stationary, kind of moving slowly. And then I noted at the very end of the video, after looking back at the footage, it took off to the right as I stopped the video. So that was pretty crazy. I'm thinking about creating like a UFO channel and looking back through all of my micro SD cards and things for various footage. I created a channel called Seriously Supernatural. You'd think with all of the popularity of supernatural and paranormal things, like what I witnessed is legit, like legitimate. And you'd think with all the popularity in that it would go further, but I guess the YouTube algorithms keep us down. But I hope that cat didn't take off. I'm sorry. I don't want to run off right now because then I'll be... Okay, I think I hear her. But, yeah, that UFO, it was there. It was so obvious, and I was like, wow, I'm glad I captured that as I saw it. And I'm glad I captured it taking off to the right. But yeah, there are several YouTubers going through some rough times that follow me, and as we are as well. And thank you to someone left a $10 donation today. It's been a good long while since I've had a donation, and I appreciate that donation. Every little bit helps more than you'll ever know. So thank you to that person. You know who you are. They didn't leave a name or anything, or a channel name, so I'm not sure who to thank. But thank you very much. Any little bit helps. Every single dollar. But I was live streaming the moon earlier, and especially with the struggles that are going on, it's really helpful. You know, with this whole, what do you all think about this whole coronavirus thing? I try to really not focus on it. Now, I did put a video out about truth, about how it seems like that this happens there's always some kind of an epidemic every single election year. No matter who is in there, there's just always the elites seem to have some sort of possible pandemic every time. There's some in our state, they say, some cases in Tennessee, and so many people being quarantined. But I try to focus on the positive things on my channel. You know, put out love, because there's enough of the negativity all on the internet. Yeah, it actually acts like biowarfare, truthfully. Like, constructed to be like... Well, I don't want to talk about that in a video, but it does act kind of like biowarfare. And, I was looking on Strange Sounds Twitter page earlier about all of the crazy storms, disasters, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, things like that. There's a lot of those happening. Jesus talked about all that in Matthew too. And prophecies, they have a lot of interesting things that relate to our modern times. We have been going through the same thing, pretty much. Hold on for a moment, I'm going to mute. But thanks for asking how we're doing. Hold on, I'm going to mute it here for a moment. Alright, had to unmute for a moment. I'm glad it's a mostly pleasant night, weather-wise. I looked at the world radar earlier today, or actually yesterday and today, and it was the winds are just all over the place, north, south, east, west, and it's like one pushing against the other, and it's the winds are pretty crazy. But the weather is awesome. The weather, it actually has been pretty good, but the winds have just been like all over the place. The weather's been pretty good here too. But you live in Grand Junction, Colorado. The weather has actually been pretty good. They say that's a good area over there. I mean, our weather has been good except for the tornadoes. We just narrowly missed those tornadoes in Tennessee. Those were, I mean, I thank the Lord we missed those, that we missed them, because they came very close, you know, considering that they were just I mean, to some people it's like, well, 40, 50 miles, but still, that can take a turn really easily and come right towards you. The tornadoes, and I think we had 10. Thankfully, we missed the bad storms. Any new Mandela effects anyone has experienced lately? For me, for all of us, Nashville's always been the capital. There's never been a question about that for us. I know with all, Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, really? Some people thought Colorado was on the Canadian border. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've never heard disputing. Disputing? I've never heard anyone dispute or argue on that one. I know it's kind of weird for me when people say they remember them being taught there were 51, 52 states. Even people in my family thought, well, some of them thought, I thought there were 51 or 52 at one point. I just always remember being taught 50. The 48, the lower 48, and then the other two in Alaska. I mean, that's for me. And then we bought Alaska from Canada a long time ago, like when we bought Texas, and that's just what I always remember. And there's so many things now. There's the cat. Yep, 50 for me as well. Kitty. Kit. Okay, it keeps going out. I was trying to go for the cat. She's not going to want to go back in right now. She's under the vehicle. I think she could be under the vehicle and then all the way over there at the house in 1 second. Yeah, she's at the house. Hey, kitty. Hold on, let me mute. Okay, I got the cat back in. I finally got her. She did not want to go back in the house. But anyway, yeah, for me, it's always been that way. But then again, we've got all these alternative memories that wind up happening. It's really annoying when people say, well, it just is the way it was. It is the way it is. Well, with all of these shifts that happen, it's not always that way for some people. And a lot of people don't think about that. But anyway, I feel more, lately I felt more positive for the past couple of days. For the past few days I've had more positive energy and been able to do a few more things, and that's a great thing compared to the way I was feeling. It comes and goes. I guess maybe you call it manic mode, I don't know. That sounds like the name of a band, Manic Mode. I need to create a channel for UFO activity. Atlanta and Salt Lake City were not either. I don't know. For me, Atlanta was also always... I think Salt Lake City was for me too. We seem to be having so many different alternative memories, so I mean, I can't say, because there will be so many people swear upon something. but yet I vividly remember another. So I'll try to think of a few. But I've got to take the dog out in a little while. Again, he's wanting out. Brasilia, never heard of it. Most ME people say Rio, but I remember Sao Paulo as the capital of Brazil. Huh. I do remember them mentioning Sao Paulo, but I remember Rio de Janeiro. I guess I have a dual memory, but I never remember Brasilia. See, when I saw Brasilia, that shocked me. When I saw the capital of Brazil being Brasilia, that was a shocker to me, for me. And yeah, Canberra, never heard that one. Australia, I think, is that Canberra? Melbourne, yeah. Most people remember Sydney, but I remember Melbourne. Huh, I'm not sure. I don't remember being Canberra. Now that one is wrong for me. Canberra, just like Kazakhstan, I never remember Kazakhstan or Kazakhstan. I was like, what the heck? And suddenly there it is. Just like Turkey, Istanbul. It was Istanbul, Turkey, not Ankara. Because I remembered a teacher that would definitely count you wrong if you said the wrong thing. She was so strict, and she was ridiculous. She was ridiculous. And I call hashtag Mandela effect on this one. I call Mandela effect on this one. Istanbul, not Ankara. Because that teacher would have counted me so wrong on that test. When I said Istanbul, it was not counted wrong. I can remember her still saying Istanbul, just saying it that way. And she said the capital of Turkey is Istanbul. Now, Ankara. And they changed that in the early 1900s now. Now that happened in the early 1900s. So I was like, let's see, I was in 7th grade with that annoying teacher supporting whomever you support. I mean, it wasn't like when I was in school, people didn't like act like they were going to literally destroy each other over supporting something. I mean, this one child wrote an essay on the child. You almost went to Kentucky. No, you almost went to Kentucky. Why did I say Kentucky? You almost went to Turkey in 1990. The capital was Ankara at that time, but I understand we come from different timelines. It seems that way. It does seem that way. I was born in 1994, and always remembered it being Turkey. I mean, Istanbul. But the weird thing is these dual memories. When dual memories take place. But I want to ask you all, don't you remember a lot of freedoms of belief, spirituality, and being taken away during the previous administration? And then we're finally allowed to express freedom of spirituality during this administration, of your belief. A lot of people were, this one woman was holding various Bible studies and various things, and they were telling her she couldn't do it in her house, otherwise she'd be fined $400 a day. And that was during 2011 and 12, during Obama. And Trump stopped that. He said, no, that's not happening. You were a lot older, 1967 birth year. I have double and triple memories. Well, have you noticed there haven't been as many Mandela effects lately? There really haven't been as many. Your first ME was in 1982, John Deere. For me, John Deere has the correct spelling now. I never actually experienced a change for John Deere. It frustrates me when people say, no, that's just the way it is, and that's the way it's always been. So many people could pass, if they're legitimate, a polygraph. Like the Dick Cavett show when they said, man, people could pass a polygraph test on remembering that guy dying. um, on that guy dying on the show. And they said, no, he never had a heart attack on the show. But people have a vivid memory of what they remember. And a lot of people will tell you that you're just remembering wrong or being persuaded by someone else. No, we remembered it before we met these people. Well, as far as that, I've got a dual memory on that. I don't know. Um, it's crazy. Interesting. Interesting. You saw a thread on Reddit 2 days ago where someone was saying the ME can't be denied as just false memories because different languages are having the same Mandela effects, the same MEs. Yes, they are. People are having the same thing in different languages, and some people online were saying stupid things like it was just Americans that were experiencing the ME. No, no, it was not just Americans. People all across this world are experiencing it. You look at maps, they look completely different. Logos, they look completely different. You look at books, they're different. Movies, shows, quotes, different things, products, logos, so many different things. They're just different. Which you already know the drill. You all know the drill. You're all well acquainted with the Mandela effect. Um, just like there was a recent person that told me that, well, if the episode's different, then why don't you remember the way it was? Well, the strange thing is my brain has erased the way it was. And like that Scooby-Doo episode, my brain has erased how it actually was, and now I can't remember the way it was. But it's like, and believe me, I've always been a Scooby-Doo fan for some reason, and I've always watched the episodes, and I just remember just, I've always watched them, and many of them many different times, and suddenly that one was different. Just like Miss Wakefield on Two and a Half Men episodes. There was two of those that changed for me as well. But there was another one, Miss Wakefield on King of the Hill. King of the Hill. Miss Wakefield died. And now Miss Wakefield does not die in that episode. They end with "Have a holly jolly Christmas." That's what they end with. So many people on threads, on Reddit forums, remember Miss Wakefield dying. I watched it on DVD suddenly, the DVD that I've had for many years, and went, she should die at the end, but she's not dead. That makes the episode happier. I still think there was another person on Scooby-Doo's team. The only other one I remembered is Scrappy. I always remember 5. Fred, Velma, Daphne, Shaggy, and Scooby-Doo, and then they had Scrappy for a while, and then Scooby-Dum for a little while, which that was weird, but they did that. And Shaggy, yeah, what the heck? Shaggy does not have an Adam's apple. This person's, yeah, you said Shaggy does not have an Adam's apple. It's weird. It's like, what the frick? Like, what the crap? Shaggy doesn't have an Adam's apple. We vividly remembered it, but you look at my DVDs, you look at the VHSs I've had since childhood, you look, and yes, I still have them, and you look at these things, Shaggy was his Adam's apple. Yeah, that's true. Interestingly, they actually did, if you look at Be Cool Scooby-Doo, the series, they put, excuse me, they put an Adam's apple on Shaggy. They did put an Adam's apple on Shaggy on Be Cool Scooby-Doo, so they obviously remembered it that way. They obviously remembered it. Went out for a moment. It went out. Like, yeah, they remembered it being like they remembered him having an Adam's apple, man. Like I think we all do, man. Like, I want my old reality back, man. That was the Scott Innes Shaggy. Like, I think we all want it back, man. Another thing is Scooby-Doo actually he doesn't speak with R's anymore. I enjoy voices so much. I've done so many different voice impressions. I even have a channel called Very Voicey, and it didn't go anywhere, but I did that for my channel, that channel. Anyway, yeah, it's just crazy when you experience these MEs and things wind up. My throat is not doing so well right now, so I'm not doing a very good job with the voice impressions that I just did. But there are so many readings called Rain Reads. All right, let me take a screenshot of this here so I can, well, if it'll take a screenshot. Okay. I'll have to check that channel out. But back to that question. Why do I think we have not had any new MEs lately? You did a video on top of on the top 10 MEs tonight. Your second one was Noxzema. No one ever talks about that one. Noxzema. Went from Noxzema to Noxzema. I flipped them back as a flip-flop. Do you have any theories as to why lately there haven't been any MEs? We just don't really seem to be shifting as much lately. As far as I'm honestly, I don't know. I honestly really don't know. I know certain things have looked slightly different. Geographical locations have been different. I don't know if I posted that about a month ago or not, but there were these houses that were near this restaurant, or not restaurant, this store that we go to sometimes when we have the money to go there, and we'll get a few things, necessities. They're everywhere so expensive anymore that you just go when you can. But we went there and had noticed, well, I noticed that these buildings were gone. Emmy's Marietta. Yeah, they can be hard to catch. Those buildings were gone. These buildings, and I made a video on that. When they were supposed to be there, I remember them being there. There's no way they could have removed them that quickly and covered the ground up. The grass had grown over and all that. The grass is starting to grow, by the way, but it's just, there's no sign of any tearing down of any buildings. Another thing that happened is, there was, the cat jumps up here. Sorry. It is kind of hard to catch. They are hard to catch sometimes, but when you literally witness your entire reality just change, it really is, it's something that's brought so many people together. So, the Book of Enoch. Really cool. I'll have to check your channel. I'll have to check your channel out. So yeah, Rain on the Plains. I'll have to check your channel out. Rain Reads. When you experience this phenomenon, there's no denying what you experience, and no one can make you feel any different once you've witnessed something like that. Once you've witnessed something to that degree, there's no way one thing that's annoying is when people will tell you that you're persuading each other to remember something. No, we're not. We remembered it long before we met each other. The top 5? Well, Well, I have to go with, for number one, I have to go with being the Berenstain Bears. Better grammar. Yeah, well, what are my top five? What is my top five list? What are my top five MEs? Number one would have to be the Berenstain Bears, because that's one of the first ones that ever just. And one of them that I made, the very first video I ever made, was actually on Cracker Jacks, being Cracker Jack. A bag of Cracker Jack. A box of Cracker Jack. Instead of Cracker Jacks. But I'd say number one would be Berenstain Bears. As far as the flip-flops, number two would be, for me, Cheese Whiz. No. Well, it's kind of hard to decide. Zaxby's. You saw that happen where you passed by and all three signs had Zaxby's with no apostrophe. Really? 15 minutes later, you passed by and all three of them had apostrophes. That is interesting. That's happened to me before as well. Those type of things. One time a building was suddenly there as we were heading down this road, and the building was then gone. The building completely disappeared. It was a weird, sort of reminded me of a simulation situation. Say that 5 times fast. Simulation situation. It was like a simulation situation where this building was there, and then all of a sudden it had these weird letters that you couldn't comprehend. They didn't make any sense. The words didn't make any sense. Because they were there, but you could not make them out because they were white on this black building, and then they went off where this mall is at, this strip mall, and they completely went off. Just the words went off, and the building has never been there since. Never again. It wasn't even there when we came back 10 minutes later. It was almost like a high-rise building appeared out of nowhere. And then it was gone 10 minutes later. These things sound crazy, but they're not. And you all know that. So back to this. The rapper Dax. Back to what I experienced. Well, actually, back to the top fives. Number one would be the Berenstain Bears. Number two, I'd have to say, would be Chick-fil-A. Because Chick-fil-A, I have vivid memories of going there and asking why I was, as a child, I was in line. And for after school, the parents had brought us all to Chick-fil-A. These parents at a gathering. Why you should ask him? Because he dropped the song Book of Revelations. Really? Actually, that's one rapper I wasn't aware of. But there's actually been so many people say Revelations instead of Revelation. You remember that spelling? You called it Chic-fil-A. Yes. Yes. That was the joke that was commonly made. There was Reddit forums about it. There were jokes about it when I was in elementary school called Chic-fil-A instead of Chick-fil-A. So many, yes, the comments are rolling in really quickly. Hold on. I actually made a video about, on my Twitch channel about what happened with Zaxby's. That's crazy, about a high-rise disappearing. Do you know where that building was and if anything is there now? It was actually down the road we were traveling to take Daddy to work, and then all of a sudden it was to our right, and we saw this, and we were in such a hurry. These things always happen when you're in such a hurry that you can't pay as much attention. And the building was there, and I got an eerie feeling from it, and then the lights go off. The white lights, the words that were on it, it was like some kind of a foreign word. And then it went off, and the building, it was tall in the strip mall, and it's never been there since. There's nothing there. Nothing. And this person said, trending number 36 as well, his start was Cash Me Outside, girl. Cash Me Outside. See, that's another thing. Cash Me Outside is that girl that Cash Me Outside girl. Danielle Bergoli, Bad Baby. I remember Bad Barbie, and then her name was changed to Bad Baby. And then it's always been Bad Baby now. Plus, I remembered her happening in 2010 or 12, and now she just came about in 2016. She just got famous in 2016. I remember it happening when I was in high school. That's how I know, because I know I was in high school. And it became a popular downloaded ringtone. I remember, see, they made a ringtone. That's the thing. People don't even download ringtones now, as far as not very often. It's not like a thing that downloaded as a ringtone. Like when Soulja Boy cranked that, it was the popular ringtone in 2007, 2008. Crank That Soulja Boy was the popular ringtone. And that was the thing. People downloaded from a specific website a ringtone. And they paid to have that as their ringtone. Well, the Cash Me Outside girl, that song Cash Me Outside, was remixed as a ringtone. For me, I remembered hearing about it in 2010 or 12, when ringtones were still more of a thing. Now, I still also, I had the song, let's see, by George Thorogood, Bad to the Bone. I had that as my ringtone from 2012 to 2014. So, we still do ringtones, but it's not the same. You can edit it to pick which part you want and all of that. But here's the thing. I remember her being famous then. And that's how I remember. But then all of a sudden it happened years and years later. So, another thing is, I'll never forget asking about the Chick-fil-A. I said, why is there only a C? Why is there just a C and no K? And they said, it's a play on words. And I was wondering, well, what kind of play on words is it? And it's just a little thing they did. I was like, okay. And I asked again. They said, just eat your food. The parent that I was with, it was another person's parent. So his career is tied to an effect. Yes, that happens quite a bit. There's been so many. There was a rap song, they suddenly went, Luke, I am your father, in the middle of a song. And there's so many different things like that. Mama remembers them hearing, Luke, I am your father. And even though we've never really watched Star Wars, and I remember hearing it, I remember when I was a child, I heard Luke, so I thought he was saying look. And I would always go, Luke, I am your father, I would do like that. So, she happened twice. Yes, Danielle Bergoli, the Cash Me Outside girl. She happened twice for me as well. It tripped me out, right? I thought it was a meme comeback to life, but nope. Just suddenly on there for the first time. Yep, that's it. I thought she just came back to popularity or went back on Dr. Phil, but then Dr. Phil was like, when she first came on there in 2016, I was like, okay, I guess not. So I'm just saying your peeps might dig his song, the ME people, I guess, about Revelations and peeping his career. I think he's one of us. Yeah. For some people, it just now changed to Chick-fil-A with CK. For some people, it just now changed. Yeah, that's the crazy thing about this phenomenon. And for me, it's been that way for 2 or 3 years for me. But Chick-fil-A was the original, with just a C. Same here. It's amazing how we're talking about these things. It really is amazing how we're talking about these things with each other. These literal reality shifts. So many literal reality shifts that keep happening. And much of this world, I can't say much, but, well, actually, yeah, much of this world pays no attention to it. They just pay no attention. It's also interesting that I a lot of times will put my emotions out channel my emotions through poetry or songwriting. I wish I could sell music. That would be really cool. I even thought about, I've created so many different channels, but they haven't gone anywhere. They haven't done anything. So they haven't really gone anywhere as far as popularity. And I think it's because a lot of times the algorithms are keeping us down. The algorithms keep us down. They don't want these new YouTube channels like ours being seen and recommended. A lot of times now you'll see something silly, something crazy. Does this happen to you? You'll see something crazy from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or pop up in your recommendations all of a sudden. You're like, where did this come from? Like, why is this just now being recommended? To not just me, but a lot of people. And they even stated they were going to keep all conspiracy theorist videos. All conspiracy theory videos. I don't know why my phone's making this noise. All conspiracy theory videos, and this is even considered that, which I hate that term because it's kind of it demeans what we go through, in a way. If you look at when they talk about the parallel universes, alternate realities, and all of that on Rick and Morty, they know what they're talking about, man. As far as the parallel universes and alternate realities and different things like that, they know. I've talked about that since I was a child. I knew. Geez, Rick, do you think there's literally many versions of all of us? Yes, I do. I really do. And I know there is because I've seen them. Whoa, man. Yeah, it's really crazy how people, they'll believe in the science of something, but when the situation takes place, they have a hard time believing it. I'm trying to take screenshots of the comments so I can save them. That's why my phone's making this weird crackly noise right now. But a lot of people, it's weird, they believe in science wholeheartedly, but they won't. What happened? However, if cover a topic right now, right away, at the right time, you'll always trend if they need to push something. In the club or not, that's how Tube works. Yeah, how YouTube works. I've been subbed to you. I get your videos as recommendations all the time. Well, that's good. But I've noticed a lot of the YouTubers that I'm subscribed to don't show up in my recommendations. It's actually really early in the morning, but technically late because we had a long day. So it is 5:09 a.m. What time is it for you all? A lot of people's phones said daylight savings, yes. And I actually have a video where my Echo Dot Alexa actually said, it actually stated daylight savings time instead of daylight saving time. So that was interesting.
In the United States, daylight savings time begins on March 8, 2020.
Did you hear that?
November 1st, 2020.
I thought I was calling upon it.
It will start on March 14th.
And it said savings, 3 a.m. Also, why does spring start on the 19th this year, and then a 19th in 4 years, but never again? That's kind of weird. 3 a.m. watching Mission Impossible the old series. Savings. You're a few hours south of Nashville, so it's also 5:10 for you. But yeah, a lot of people they don't realize that I mean, that there are so, they look at the science of something, but yet they don't actually think about it. They just disregard it after experiencing the phenomenon themselves and they'll actually look into the scientific study of something, but not further they're not use the phenomenon itself to actually further their scientific study. That does make sense, Rick. Why wouldn't people actually utilize this phenomenon to further their scientific studies? Exactly, Morty. Exactly. But you didn't come up with it. I did. Yeah, that's true. Schools are not for smart people. They're a mind prison. They're all mind control. Exactly, Morty. They are mind control. And sadly, they politically mind control people. They do all of that. Thank you, Rain on the Plains. Raise your hand to go poop. Yeah, I actually go into an alternate reality, into a special place to take a crap. That's what Rick does. He had a place made where he actually goes. That was a crazy episode. I couldn't tell you, but I just wish they wouldn't politicize things. I don't want to get into that for this video. If they would teach students that it's okay to, I mean, they're not allowed to pray. They're not allowed to feel spirituality. They're not allowed to, I know a lot of times I wish they wouldn't down God on those shows. I wish they wouldn't do that because I believe in God and I feel like that it's wrong. It's just wrong to do that. Let's take all spirituality out of there. That's what they do. Why do that? Teach them how to learn, not what to learn. Yes, that's it. I'm glad you're laughing. I am glad you're laughing. I enjoy making people laugh. I have a channel that I made called Very Voicey, if you'd like to check it out. We all fall short. We're all sinners. I mean, that's the redemption of Jesus Christ. I really wish that a lot of the shows would not particularly ostracize and choose to make fun of one particular belief, and that's the belief in Jesus. They do that a lot. But, I mean, I love everyone. I don't know how difficult it is for people to just love each other. Be kind, be nice, and, you get the point. And, yeah. I'm sure there's a reality somewhere. And I'm sure there's a reality somewhere right now where everyone's just saying kumbaya, right? Everyone's just getting along. And also there's probably a reality where I'm with Jessica, right? No, probably not. That's never going to happen. Oh, come on, give me the benefit of the doubt. There is no benefit of the doubt. Morty, that will never happen. That will actually never, ever happen. Way to be a downer, Rick. I'm equal opportunity. I'll poke at every faith about the same amount. They all mean good, but well, everyone has their own opinions on things. Oh my goodness, LOLs. Rain on the Plains. I also do, King of the Hill. I sell propane and propane accessories. Thank you. I sell propane and propane express. Why do I keep saying accessories? What the heck are accessories? This went off into voices. But anyway, that episode with Miss Wakefield, I remember her dying specifically. I remember that. She died in Hank's house. Dang it, Hank, I was a nose hair away from attaining inner peace. Shisha. Talk about that old, oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, my word. They gonna talk about that old boo, man. They go wah boo. Oh man. Dad, I was not playing with dolls. Thank you, Starries. I love doing impressions. Wingo, man, someone likes my voice impressions. Make sure the government's not watching, though. Dale was right when he said it won't be the DVD. You are watching the DVD. It'll be the DVD who is watching you. That's actually true because the shows that we watch, the devices watch us now. That's true today, even though he said that in the 90s. Dale Gribble was hashtag woke. He was woke. Hello, Dale. John Redcorn. Oh, man. Good times. Those good shows. I also love The Simpsons, which, don't get me started on that. They have predicted so many Mandela effects. Not only that, but they actually remember our realities. They remember things properly. And I mean, come on, people. How could you not? There's so many. The cat thinks I've gone crazy. But there's so many things The Simpsons remembers and also predict. I do so many different voices. I've done the Scooby-Doo, the Simpsons, King of the Hill, Rick and Morty. I'll go from Rick and I'll just start going off into a different voice. And I'll go into Morty's voice, just different voices. That's just how I do. I'm just, when I'm in a good way, positive way, I just start going into random voices. I would love to do voice acting. That would be so awesome. That would literally be awesome. Donut. I had one of those donuts that were supposed to be Simpsons donuts, and they were not good. Sadly, that was not good. And that was disappointing. Thank you, Rain on the Plains. Thank you. That is so great. Awesome. I'm glad you love my voice impressions. Uh-oh, the phone is dying. It's at 1%. I hope it doesn't die. But it's crazy when people start saying that. It's really weird, even when your own loved ones and other people don't remember something that you do. That gets crazy. But we're living in some crazy times. It was foretold, and if you look in the book of Matthew, Jesus also foretold several things that we're seeing happening right now. Several things. It's actually all throughout the Bible, but I still, one thing for sure, when you see all the different media, particularly choosing to ostracize one particular belief, you think, that belief must be that must be right. The Lord must be the one there. I mean, I believe in Jesus Christ, and that seems to be the one that they choose to always ostracize. That must mean something. And, it's sad, really. The amount of discrimination and hate we see in this world for absolutely nothing. Of course, he did say you will be hated for my name's sake. An Arabic guy, he predicted beepers and cell phones. I'd like to see that. That sounds that's interesting. The Hindus also, the people of India, they have several prophecies that have come true as well. There's multiple cultures have prophecies that have come true. Multiple people have different prophecies that have come true. Biblical prophecy has come true quite a bit as well, and it's still happening today, like the prophecy of Israel becoming a nation, and then all of the things that ensued afterwards. He even describes how towns are today, and tunnels through the mountains, and etc. I thank you for the likes. This phone's at 1%. I hope it doesn't quit on me, but if it shuts off, that's the reason why. That was like 1,000 years ago. I'll have to look that up. Do you know the name of the person? I know there's a lot of Nostradamus prophecies that come true as well. You forgot? That happens a lot. I mean, I try to remember something and I'll forget it, but... So why the stupid hurts? That sounds like... It reminds me of the political situations we're seeing of, like... You gotta admit, the Democratic side acts so crazy anymore. They're just like... They talk about peace and love, but can you please tell me why a side that claims to be about peace and love and acceptance is always bullying and always discriminating, ostracizing, hating, and bullying? The side that claims to be about love and acceptance and peace and kindness and all of that. Like when President Trump was elected, there were people literally saying, there's going to be blood, there's going to die, and they talk about killing him all the time. It's just, how's that love? That's not love. Naughty Beaver is one of my favorites. The name sounds wrong, but is one of my favorite channels and talks about Nostradamus prophecies. Okay, I'll have to look that up as well. I'm going to take screenshots. I guess they made their name, I guess they made their channel name sound that way in order to gain more views. I don't know, maybe they did that. I ought to create a channel and post my UFO content. Oh no! Well, I love you all. My channel is ending. My video is ending. My phone shut off. Peace, much love. Thank you all for joining. My links are below if you'd like to show support. And I love you all. I'll talk as soon as possible. Signing out. Thank you for watching. I'll try another stream tomorrow night when it's raining and everything. But still, I'll try another stream tomorrow. Signing out. I'm going to have to go. The phone's going to die again. I just barely got it back up and running, so I love you all. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it so much. My links are below if you'd like to show support, as always. My link is below in my, as well as my email for this channel. I love you all. Thank you for watching. I have to go. You don't know what it meant to be able to share with you all. Phone's frozen, so I'm managing right now I'm trying to talk until it ends. Signing out. Bye.